Hey there everyone, FlamePlays here, and 1.16 is right around the corner, so I thought it was about time that I jump back into Minecraft and show you 16 tips that you can use in your 1.16 builds when the update drops in the next couple weeks. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it because we have a ton of stuff to go through today. Okay, so we're going to start off very simple and then we're going to work up to some more complicated builds. So yeah, starting off here, we just have a nice little Soul Sand Valley replica in the Flatland world. Where we have like a nice little campfire using, of course, the new Soul Campfire, which may be one of my favorite additions. The new wood type and the, of course, the planks. Also, this has the best sound. Like, that is a great sound. And then, of course, you just have like a little tent here with a bed, which I don't recommend clicking when you're in the nether because it will explode. This is the thing that you actually use now to sleep, so you just put that right next to your bed and it looks like you have a nice little bed. And click this. Yeah, so we're not gonna click it over here. Don't try and set your spawn with that if you're in the overworld. Anyway, yeah, we have some barrels and chests for storage, but I think the main thing here is the lodestone and of course the bed, but I don't recommend using the bed because it will do that. So, yeah, if you're building this in the nether, use the respawn anchor, and if you're doing this in the overworld, use the bed. Moving on, number 2 here, we have a new gate and wall design courtesy of these new glass pane connections, which are fantastic. Like, look how you can connect glass panes to walls now. You couldn't do this before, and this is so fantastic. I love this so much. And then also you have a new basalt texture using the basalt and the polished basalt, which makes this really good pillar design and also like tree trunk design. You're going to see it a lot during this video because I used it all the time whenever I had to do any texturing of anything. So yeah. But anyway, you just have like a nice gate here with a lodestone as like the centerpiece and a chain block. Finally, they added these coming down and holding like the drawbridge bit of it. I don't really know. But yeah, that's that one. Nice and simple. Over here, we have a nice canopy roof with lanterns, including the blue lanterns, the soul lanterns, at different heights thanks to these chains, which means you can now place them down and get fairly close to the bed here. I don't know if you would want a lantern that close, but you can have it if you want. These are some bed designs that are pretty standard, but of course now we can have the colored trapdoors and signs around them to make them definitely feel more fitting, like frames for the beds, and of course the backboards using these stems would look really well. This is definitely a old design with just updated textures and stuff, and of course you can sleep in the bed when it is nighttime. And I had to sneak in a 1.15 tip as well. When the beehives came out, they work as such great floor designs with the oak wood as a texture there as well. So yeah. Okay, now we have our first real set piece design type thing here. We have like an office or a dungeon, I guess. I don't really know. The black walls make it seem kind of like a dungeon, but this works really, really well. And the same design here that's going on that was on the beds also works as like a board design on the bottom of a wall, I guess. And then we have these like pillars of the new wood type and the stripped wood type, which works so nice. And then, like I was talking about before, you have the lodestone as a floor block, which looks really nice with gray carpet, and it could be like a carpet or whatever. And then finally, we just have some plant pots with the respawn anchor as a like holder, as a pot for the plant pots. I really don't recommend using this because if you right click it, it'll explode and then you'll have to clean that up to fix everything, like I definitely haven't had to do multiple times. But yeah, no, this is just a nice little office design showing off many different tricks. Moving on, we have a rail line that I put together, which is once again using that basalt, polished basalt texture here, and there's a llamas. You're okay, you're fine. And I think the crimson wood looks so good as rails if you have like in between these basalt. Of course, you can put like a train on this or something that's like a little nicer than this simple minecart here. But yeah, no, definitely if you want to try out these rail designs, because I think they work really well. As a quick bonus tip, this trapdoor here, the Crimson trapdoor, works really well as the grills of a car, and you can add that in with buttons for lights, and then you've got a very nice like car. But anyway, that is this rail design. Be sure to try it out. I really like what this looks like, and I definitely think you can try this with warped wood as well. Okay, so next we have a statue that I put together, and I'm not great at building statues, so I was actually pretty surprised with how this turned out. Initially, I was just going to do the base, obviously, here with the lodestone, and the basalt, which looks very nice, is like a pillar block. But then I went all the way and actually built the statue as well, which is using a similar design, but then I replaced a couple elements, like I added this sword with this grindstone and lodestone as the hilt and the handle, and then you have a shield here with basalt and a hopper, which I think looks really nice, because you got a lot more grayscale blocks now, which is really, really nice when you're building something like this. And then, of course, the lodestone as a chestplate and the observer as a face, which are pretty typical, but the lodestone, I think, looks really nice there, especially if you're, like, saying that it has, like, a gemstone in the center of it, put maybe a crimson button and say there's, like, a ruby. I don't know. You can figure it out. Anyway, moving on. This is one that I am very proud of. We have a mausoleum church style build. I don't really know. Sheep, do you know? No, the sheep's walking away. This wall design is something similar that you used to be able to do with fences, like if you get some fences out here. But I think it looks a whole ton better with the chains now that you can do that. And they don't connect to the walls, which is actually really, really great. But before we get to that, you have the ancient debris as the floor design. And what you're gonna see with this building is it is not survival friendly. Ancient debris is one of those incredibly rare blocks, and I don't even know if you can mine it with Silk Touch, but if you can, that's where you get this. But yeah, I used a lot of it. Then netherite blocks are also incredibly expensive, maybe the most expensive blocks in the game now, and I use them as the wall. So you're probably not going to be able to use netherite unless you're building in creative, because there is a lot of it in here. But yeah, if you can, then use it. If you're just super, super rich, be sure to try it. But I don't really know if that is feasible. But then again, like I was talking about before, the basalt looks so good as a wood substitute pillar block. And then I'm just mixing a bunch of different gray tone and black blocks, such as like andesite and blackstone bricks. And then you just have a bunch of neat little building tricks here, like using the mushroom stems and buttons to detail stuff. This is pretty standard stuff here. But I think it all looks fantastic, especially as like an entrance to a nether portal. I think this would be so sick if you just walked out of the nether, and then even this could be in the nether if this was your nether entrance and you just walked out of this when you were coming through your nether portal. I think that could be absolutely sick. But it's fascinating how well the lodestone kind of looks like a cross, so I kind of just added it to one. I don't really know. But yeah, that's the mausoleum. I'm pretty happy with this one. I think this is there's a bunch of fantastic tips in here that you can grab and put in your Minecraft worlds, but I think this fence is probably my favorite out of all of them. Anyway, we are going to be moving on to the next design, which is kind of hitting the mausoleum a little. I definitely did not plan this well, but these are a couple of trees that are kind of just like dead trees, and this is just using some basalt and coral and slabs of the new blackstone to make it look a little more, I was going to say alive, but then I was going to say these are dead trees, so maybe not more alive, but maybe more dead. Definitely looks a lot more dead, but this is fantastic to put around like a lava pool. But yeah, these are great tree designs. Definitely try them out in the nether if you are going to be terraining there. Moving on, we have a dungeon throne room of the Wither, which is crazy looking. So we have some respawn anchors, which also look really nice as flower pot or pedestal holders. So I think those could be used like that as well. And then we have this crazy floor design that I think looks so nice with the polished basalt. So you have like, because this top texture is so good. Like Jasper, fantastic job with this. Kind of looks like a target. But yeah, no, the basalt flooring with the blackstone, and then you have these chain lanterns hanging at different lengths, which is really cool, and I'm so happy that we can do that now. And then of course you have the pattern of the floorboard that I was doing before, and some gilded blackstone mixed into the wall to make it look a little more detailed and rich, especially with the gold throne here and the wither heads, make you look like the rich wither king that you are. Yes? No? Anyway, let's move on because we've got still a ton of stuff to go through. But this is one that I took exactly as it is in the games and just made it a little more detailed. So we have a broken nether portal here that's taking advantage of the new crying obsidian. Don't catch me on fire. The new crying obsidian and blackstone to add a little more texture here. To make it look like it truly fell apart and it's just kind of dying. But then around the lava, I added these warped wart block bushes type thing with prismarine, which surprisingly work well together because they're both blue blocks and it kind of looks like berries. And if you're playing with fire tick off, you can totally add some stripped dark oak wood and spruce wood to your soul sand to make it look more alive. Anyway, this tree is definitely not looking alive because it is very dead. And we can finally have dead palm trees. I don't know why you would want dead palm trees, maybe to put on a volcano or something, but you can have them now. And this one's catching on fire here with a coral fan mix of coral block leaves and a polished basalt stem or branch trunk. But back on the other side, back to life, now we can actually say it's alive, because it is alive. We have a normal palm tree, and before, I've seen a lot of designs that use stripped oak logs or composters, but I don't know if these look right for palm trees. Definitely not this one. This looks like it has dirt in it, which is kind of weird, and it's a little dark. So this was definitely my best bet for a palm tree in the past, but now we have the ancient debris. And while you can't really use this in survival, I don't think you can definitely use it in creative when you're building massive builds. And it looks a little ancient, so if you were using this in like a prehistoric park or a Jurassic Park, this would look cool. And then I just added some like twisted vines as like ferns, because it fits this ancient prehistoric vibe that I have going on here. So yeah, these are two palm tree designs that you can do now, and I think they're probably my favorite builds in this entire thing. Anyway, moving on, we have some rocks. So if you guys like rocks like me, then you're gonna love this part. So starting with the blackstone, this is just a typical stone rock with blackstone instead. So you're using polished blackstone and blackstone bricks and blackstone brick slabs and blackstone. It looks great. I think this is a fantastic way to make stones now, and it's super easy as well. So yeah, definitely try this. Then we have a nether brick rock. So like maybe you're just in the nether wastes and you want to add a little more texture. This nylium and these nether wart slabs, as well as the nether gold ore, add a lot of texture here. And then over here you have this rock, which is just a normal rock. It has coral, it has andesite, cobblestone, but then you can throw in some basalt, which adds a ton. It makes it feel much more rocky, especially the top, very gravelly, and I think it looks really nice with the typical rock design. The ancient debris looks really nice not only as a tree trunk, but also as rocks. And with the jungle slabs and spruce slabs, you can definitely make this thing look really, really nice, especially in a prehistoric park. Like, wrap up some of these twisting vines and throw them over here, and you've got yourself a fantastic little overgrown rock type thing. And then in the back here, we just have some nether wart blocks with some nether brick slabs, which Something we could do before, but I think would look nice in the nether. Okay, now we've got some bigger builds here. We've got some tree designs, so I'm going to go through these both at the same time. But for the warped one, I based it around an oak tree, and for the crimson one, I based it around a spruce tree. In designing these, I did not really think about which one's which. I think they could both work at either, but this one's much darker in tone, so I think the spruce tree fits it a little better. This one's more of like an oak or birch tree, which, of course, you have to have the hanging lanterns coming down. But these are just like mixes of glass and the warp blocks, as well as the stems for the trunk of the tree, and then just a bunch of slabs and fences. You know the deal, to make a nice looking tree. And same thing over here. This one I didn't put glass because I think it changed it and made it a little too light. I wanted this one to be like much darker. But I could definitely see a nether forest of these looking so cool. Anyway, we're going to take a quick target break because I couldn't figure out what to do with these. So I just put some, oh, I missed that one. Okay. Put some target blocks on some poles and showed off that you could use these as bases as well with the new wood. And this is like a little stand, maybe for a fair. I think this could work as like a little fair type thing. I don't know, I didn't really know what to do with the target block. Anyway, yeah, target block, didn't really know what to do. And then finally, oh my god, we finally come to the end. I know you didn't expect to see an igloo and a nether update video, but you know, I had to do something with these white blocks. And now we have a... Oh, I honestly do not know what this is. I was running out of ideas. It was getting really late last night. I guess I did use the target blocks as like carpet things. I guess these could like work as an oriental carpet. I don't know, they don't really connect. And I just put the soulfire torches on top of some chains and did some bookshelves and put a campfire in the middle, and then you've got yourself a cult meeting room. I do not know why, but that is going to be all for this video. Where are my builds? Oh, there they are. Hi. I am really happy with how most of these turned out, and I think you could definitely use them in your own worlds. There is no world download for this, but it shouldn't be too hard to try these out yourself. I went fairly slowly while looking at all of them. Llama, are you on my build? Well, you know what? I don't know what's going on. This is not my fault, definitely. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. I'm super excited for 1.16 coming out, and I'm definitely going to do some more content when the update is closer to release. I know this is about all that's going to be coming out in terms of blocks and stuff, but I definitely want to do a series. Possibly, maybe, I don't know, when this update releases for real, because we're only in snapshots right now. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a very fun video to set up yesterday and to record, and I want to do more stuff like it. So if you liked it, be sure to go down in the comment section below and tell me which build you are going to try in your own world, as well as hitting that like button and subscribe button and turning notifications on. But thank you guys so much. Have a nice one, guys. I will see you all next time, and bye-bye!